Bob Kafaro here, and I'd like to talk about something today that some people may not want to hear about. And this is someone who is in the news and someone that I've followed for over 2 decades. And of course, this is Lance Armstrong, the cyclist. And I know people are going to say bad things about him, and rightly so. He was a doper. He admitted it after years of denials. And he's in the news because he had to defend a $100 million lawsuit by the federal government for allegedly defrauding the Postal Service, the United States Postal Service, as his sponsor. So the case was settled out of court. Lance Armstrong has agreed to pay $5 million to the federal government, plus he's agreed to pay the legal fees of Floyd Landis, who was the whistleblower. So before we say anything about Lance, yeah, he's guilty as a doper. You know, all the people that he was mean to when he lied. But for me, I'm grateful for Lance Armstrong because for me, he was a guiding light when I was at my lowest point with MS. I was blind in both eyes legally. I couldn't use my hands. And Lance Armstrong is something, he's a person that accomplished truly something that's impossible because his testicular cancer metastasized so rapidly it went into his lungs and into his brain. And he had brain surgery. They opened up his head to cut the cancer out of his brain. And the doctors told him he wouldn't be able to balance on a bicycle after the brain surgery. And the doctors told him he had a 50% chance of survival from this. And the doctors privately said he had a 20% chance of survival. So Lance Armstrong beats the cancer, comes back to be a serious competitor in the world's most demanding athletic event. And of course, we know now he had help with his doping. So what I think is sad about this is that he's not here as an inspiration and a role model of someone who accomplished something that's truly impossible. And for me, when I was at my lowest point, I looked to him for guidance, and without knowing, he took my hand and walked me through a very, very difficult course. And if you look at what he did, that he beat this cancer and came back, his attitude was anything to win. It was unethical, but he won. So my point is, with an incurable illness such as MS, you can't just play by the rules. To me, that's bringing a knife to a gunfight. You've got to be unethical. You've got to do anything you can to win. And that's exactly what I did. And I emulated him. I followed him in that sense. I devoted everything about my life, fair or not fair, to beating this disease. And I think there is so much to be learned from that. And yeah, he was unethical, but are you going to play nice when it comes to beating an incurable illness? That's something to think about. And I wanted to share these thoughts because there's so much to be learned from someone who will do anything to win. And that's where I was. And I think when you're facing an incurable illness, it's really a good attitude to have. Just some thoughts of the day. So please remember, if you enjoy these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much.